Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the 2025 Zelda 2 Randomizer Upstarts tournament a play-in race between Taelin116 and Initsu. On commentary, we have Sonny Rath and Elendar, and I'll be your tracker. So I'll pass this over to our commentator team. Take it away, you two.
Elendar, we're back at it.
We are. It's another tournament to start doing commentary for. Very excited. We've been doing the qualifying rounds for this bracket as a series of 5 async races. We've taken the top 8, but we do not know who is 5th and who is 6th. That will be decided today.
Yeah, hence this being a air quotes play-in race, but this is just to determine who will be the 5th seed as well as the 6th seed.
Yeah, both of these runners obviously tied. We saw both of these runners appearing in the top 2 at various points. So it should be a real close race.
Very much so. All right, looks like we have a mountainous biome right out the gate.
Oh boy, everyone loves mountains.
I mean, I'm always fond of them. With jump here at Raru.
Go east to find the boots? Okay.
All right, not a bad hint.
Sort of depends on what the other biomes are.
That's very true.
Double mountainous. Occasionally you get a lake or something that you got to cross, and the boots end up being useful, but hard to say.
That is very, very true. Though we'll find out once continent connectors are found. So with this being the play-in race to determine who is seed 5 and who is seed 6, this will be the week 5 flags from here on out for the Upstarts tournament. During the async weeks, we already ran through the other 4 sets that were available to run, and now it's just the week 5 flag set. Last year for this tournament, there were 6 weeks of flag sets for asyncs, so there was a slight change in that respect.
Yeah, but the week 5 flags, definitely the hardest of all of the flags previously. We no longer have free down stab, just some regular good old average magic costs and attack. Pretty similar to the sort of things we run in standard.
Yeah, it's all random effectiveness at this point. So it's a potential of a struggle.
Speaking of continent connectors, very easy to find, and vanilla like east, probably, maybe islands.
Looks like islands.
Yeah. All right. Well, good news about that boots hint.
Yeah, that boots hint is huge here, but unfortunately, Taelin gonna take one shot from the orange Lizalfos. Gets hit by a fireball.
This is a
that
tough
lag
set for 1-1-1 too.
It really is.
I don't blame him for giving up on that. Might as well explore the west of it and get some experience.
P-bag there for Initsu, gonna pick up attack 2, which is fairly nice early on.
Yeah, we'll see how the runners decide to prioritize magic. For a lot of the earlier seeds, because we had low magic costs, runners were avoiding magic levels like the plague, but well, unless there's an any key or something, magic levels enabling you to cast fairy, at all, much less a second time for life, is a big deal.
Oh, I absolutely agree, and unfortunately, Taelin just getting locked there by the louder and the red Daira.
Yeah, this is definitely not the item key if you want to see first. You can try to take down the Daira, but at this point, I might try to just jump over him. I don't know how much Taelin, whether he's particularly proficient at Daira jumping, but okay, so not quite, but gets through anyway.
Yeah, but the only problem is this is Taelin's last life, so gotta play it a little safely here. And as I say that, the commentator curse strikes back.
Yeah, it's okay. You can come back in with a life level or two. It'll be no problem. Meanwhile, Initsu has found Bagu's woods and probably going to actually hunt for Bagu in a mountainous biome. The likelihood of needing to cross Saria is definitely highest here.
Yeah, and has already picked up life 3. So looking at 213 right now for Nitsu's levels as he finds Fairy Cave. And Taelin just picking up the heart container off of the grass tile. And checking to see what this cave is, finds out that it's Parappa Cave. I'm gonna go through it, just see where he ends up.
Yeah, I think it's just going to put him right around where the raft was, but he still needs to explore most of this area anyway, so...
He does, and we see
either way.
We see a 3-6 over on Anitsu's side.
Yeah, so we've seen 3, 6, and 2.
And there's Saria.
There it is, yeah, and definitely looks like it's going to be a valuable crossing if you know Bagu.
Unless Fairy is there.
Yeah, well, Fairy's there and it's the good side of Saria.
That's true. Oh, Pillar Feedback Cave.
Not a great drop pool for the small enemies so far. I think the 200 was on the largest.
200 was on the small.
Okay, that's not terrible then.
Nah, it could be worse.
How good the drop pool is definitely makes a big contribution to whether it's worth bothering killing small enemies or not.
Absolutely, and there is a flute picked up by Initsu. So, yet another good find there.
Yeah,
because...
we have random 3-eyed rock on, so who knows what's under it.
And could need that flute anyway just to progress through the islands biome, which he hasn't gone back to check the raft tile yet. That is the one thing that Taelin has checked that Initsu has not.
Yeah, the River Devil Islands is generally the biome least likely to require using the flute to pass the River Devil, but given that we know the boots are on the east, that raises the chances of that flute being required substantially.
Absolutely. And Taelin making it past the Red Dire this time, able to get life 2, has attack 2. Initsu in Magic Jar, or Magic Container Cave, gonna pick up a heart container as Taelin picks up a magic container.
Alright, so lots of safeties early on, not a lot of progress items other than that raft.
And potentially the flute.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Let's see what Saria is like.
Reflect Town.
Okay. Still, Initsu might want to consider going back and trying to find Bagu. He did find Bagu's woods, but didn't dig around enough to find Bagu himself.
Yeah, that's a concern that's sitting in the back of my mind. Definitely want to find Bagu, especially after finding his woods.
It's possible there's a route around if you go like west at the start, past the raft, and I know there was at least a path that curved north. I don't know it'll go all the way up to the other side of Saria, but
that's a possibility.
It's hard to tell. I mean, Initsu hasn't checked any of that area on the west side of the map.
There's the flute pickup.
First instead of Taelin's west. Well, I guess there's also that. Was that cave an item cave or I think that was an item cave, right?
It was an item cave.
Okay, so that doesn't go through.
Because we've seen all the pass-throughs. Because Jump was close to start, and then Parappa was over by Grass Tile. And then Fairy Cave was close to the 3-6 that Initsu found earlier.
Yeah, so either there's a path leading north from the southwest to the northwest, or we're gonna need to find Bagu.
as Initsu is working on finding Bagu right now.
Or not. I mean, there's always a chance that you could just go east, and that's the key to everything, and that section's useless. But you want to, especially given how nasty the east is. Just that first encounter was not an easy fight.
Not at all, and Taelin's having a rough time here in the Magic Container Cave. Might have a bit of frustration finding out that it's just a heart container, but we'll see once he's able to make it through.
I think at this point he'd take a heart container given how rough the combat has been.
Yeah, and he does get it, so that's a plus.
It'll help him get some experience off these enemies too.
And he's going to take Magic 2, which I'm not against. I will wholly admit I'm not against that level.
Yeah, you definitely, absolutely want to, even with 6 containers, you want to get enough to be able to cast Fairy at all. Which it probably is at 6, but the difference between 1 cast per life and 2 cast is gigantic, as Initsu does track down Bagu.
And the note will be given to the Riverman, and I have a feeling that we're going to see Initsu heal, if not potentially just take a death here.
Yeah, it didn't look like an easy set of enemies to get past on basically no life.
But that should be a 200-point P-bag if I've kept up with the drop pool, and it is, so that's going to be life 4 for Initsu already. A good spot to be in going towards life 5. Could also opt to push for attack 4.
Yeah, I'd like to see some magic levels, but this is fine. Especially when you only have 5 bars. The worst feeling in the world is you find Mito, you have Fairy spell from, someplace else, and then you don't have enough to cast Fairy, and you're like, crap, now I have to grind. Because
yeah, exactly.
you're not gonna leave Mito, you're not gonna not get down stab, but also you could have taken a magic level or 2 earlier and saved yourself a couple minutes of grinding. Speaking of grinding, Taelin has found 3 or 6 and is looking to gain a level or 2.
Depending upon how much these red IKs end up giving. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly how much they give.
They're not going down quick at attack 2.
And they only give 70 on top of that. Fire at Rudo. We're not going to know what that's linked to, and Taelin has decided to jump in a bit more, probably looking to grab some information.
Yeah, potentially also a level here, but yeah, not gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I did see Mirai do down stab with Kirak at attack 2 or attack 3 on 3 bars of life yesterday. But it's hard. It's very hard. I absolutely don't blame anyone for not wanting to.
Hey, you did the same thing I normally do.
Alright, so we got some nice stuff here on the other side. Initsu got a hint that the trophy is in the maze for fire, found King's Tomb for nothing, and just gonna work his way down. Oh hey, there's a bridge and P4 here, so that's the last of our palaces. We got 2, 3, 6, and 4.
And the bridge leads to the maze. That looks like DM.
Yeah, probably. Maybe? No, definitely
No.
not DM. That's the east.
No, that's west.
Oh, is that west?
That was a louder in the cave.
West? Oh yeah? That sucks.
And look at what Taelin's found.
Downstab.
Yes. West to find the flute. Thanks for the hint. Absolutely useless.
Traditional. I, as always, have to insist that the hints are not intentionally telling you things you already have. It's just how the random works.
That's my fault this time.
Ah, all right. We can share responsibility.
So that downstab pickup for Taelin at this point is actually quite huge, as that's going to speed up a lot of combat. And medicine in P1, I missed what spell is here.
This is life spell.
Okay.
So probably not going to come back for it, but at the very least, knowing medicine is in P1 is a good excuse not to pick up the item.
Orange Lizalfo's only worth 70.
These are some low experience rolls across the board.
Yeah, it's a little painful, but I think that Taelin just found where initsu found that connector. Yes, he did.
Okay, so he'll be able to get to this western side of the West without knowing Bagu, just via Death Mountain.
Which is actually kind of cool if you think about it.
Taelin looking for an easy source of experience here in P4. Could be a P bag up on the ledge. Let's see. Key is worth it.
That key is a good pickup, but this room, going for the 4 tile, gets it.
Initsu has watched Chroma's Link Feet tutorial, given it a try here. An extremely difficult trick. Doesn't get it. No shame there. And decides to move on.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest tricks the game has to offer.
Yeah,
and
unlike Fairy Feet, where you sort of move 1 pixel at a time and it's very easy to line yourself up. Link Feet has some sub-pixel precision to it, and it requires a very specific setup.
Yeah. And the setup in and of itself is not difficult to learn. It's executing Link Feet that is the difficult thing to do.
Yeah. We have a couple runners here in Upstarts coming over from Vanilla who have those kind of excellent skills. It's always an interesting thing to see in Upstarts, sort of the competition between the Vanilla Zelda 2 players coming over to Rando versus the players who come from other randomizers picking up Zelda 2 skills. Historically, the people coming over from other randos have the advantage, but there's some excellent players here from both worlds.
Oh! Taelin getting Doom knocked into the lava.
Yeah, understandably not wanting to go any further in there without... I mean, at the very least, the Glover Fairy to get through that block on the left, but having more than 1 or 2 keys is going to help out as well. See how much the blue is also worth.
Initsu's going to push him off the screen.
Yeah, I mean, he's still looking for the second item here, so speaking
You were saying?
Oh,
wait, nope, that's the first item.
That's the first item again. Yeah, the first item was just a 1-up. Second item still pending.
Second item looks like it might be in that top left portion of the maze. But Initsu's not too terribly far off of getting life 5 here. Still operating without downstab as well.
Yeah, even just to get something so you can up A at the palace and not worry about the experience.
Yeah, and that's always a concern, but right now, the major concern is where is this second item on the maze and what's it going to be?
It has been a long search for Initsu here.
Taelin might be walking straight to it. Would you look at that?
But is it any good? Downstab going to help a ton in here, though. Oh, that's right. We had a hint at the trophies here.
Yeah, trophy for fire is, that's pretty
good. Yeah, potentially. Hard to say.
Gonna require at least 1 more magic level, most likely. Question is, will Taelin end up heading over to Rudo after finishing out these checks here on the maze?
It's close enough that I'd probably do it. Linked fire is one of those things that has the potential to be a huge game changer. It's worthless most of the time, but something like a fire thunder radically changes the nature of the late game, or even like a fire fairy, because we still haven't seen fairy.
Or even fire life.
Yeah, could make some routing efficient, could make combat a lot easier. There's always a chance it's, a fire reflect or a fire jump, which would be not so great here. Fire reflect at least a little bit of value, making it so you don't have to spend quite as much magic in P4, but...
Yeah, that's for sure. Alright. Fire pickup for Taelin. Time to find out what it's connected to. Can cast it to check it, but opts not to.
Yeah, I would want to see a check as soon as possible. Probably the first enemy encounter we see here in the overworld.
Might be heading directly to the east again, and that looks to be the case. Time to see if there's any traversal that can be done here on the islands. Gonna go towards... I was gonna say gonna go towards the desert encounters, but decides against it. Getting out of the lava tiles, and there's a town immediately found.
We still have not had an encounter that contains enemies to check what this fire is.
No, we have not, but we got something a little bit better, in my opinion. Nibiru has fairy.
Yeah, as long as this fire isn't fairy, this is going to be a very good spell.
I mean, even before fire's cost really starts plummeting, this is quite good. After fire's cost starts plummeting, it's a whole different story, especially if fire is linked to fairy.
We'll have a cost check pretty quickly. I suspect both going to be not good.
I missed the number.
I also missed it. I'm going with a lot. Taelin deciding against going east for the hints. Or sorry, it's the west side of town for the hints. There are 2 more hints in this town, but you do have to go out the long way. Takes a little bit more time. That's definitely okay.
Yeah, there's DM.
So it looks like Desert Tile is boots blocked. Oh, there's that blue Lizalfo stuck in the ground is an awesome source of experience.
Yeah, it's very free experience. Decides to not go after it. Thank you, VT.
Yeah, when the Lizalfos are stuck in the ground like that, you can just sort of stab them in the face. It's 100% safe, and the blue ones can give a ton of experience. And
we see a sunken teabag.
You should exploit that while you can, because Initsu fixed that for the beta. Initsu, one of our developers of the randomizer, put in a fix to prevent enemies from spawning in the ground like that. So no more free enemies.
Yeah, that's true. That's Fire Thunder.
That is, in fact, Fire Thunder. All right, change of plans. Forget attack levels. We're going with magic levels.
Yeah, this is full magic levels now. Get that fire cost down as low as possible and cast Fire Thunder as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big advantage for Taelin. I mean, Initsu's been ahead as far as exploration, but Fire Thunder is an absolute game changer.
Yeah, it really is. All right, we're going to have a look at more of the islands. We do see a Kasuto tile. Going to take a death here, which I am not against. Getting those resources back is always a good play.
Yeah, and now, worst case, you could just ferry out of the pit. What's the bat have to say? Nothing. Initsu is going to check the western side hints. That's a forest tile? I would have stepped on that forest tile.
I would have as well.
Okay, this makes sense. Taelin figures that the east is so close, it's faster to up A to check the areas near the beginning than it is to walk back. But
I mean, I kind of like the plan.
Here we go. How much does this blue is off us? Only
100.
100. Oh man, that's a -2. How much are the reds?
They're worth a smack in the face.
Ah man, that's rough. There's just a lot of enemies have rolled down in experience.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see, but sometimes that's just how it is. Nice 200 bag found by Taelin. Gonna push it into magic by the looks of it, which I am a fan of here.
Yeah, definitely you want to get Magic 5 as soon as possible. That's going to be the inflection point where it really starts getting cheap.
Could have cast fire there to use thunder to see how much the Goma was worth, but decided against it. As Initsu has gone through Sunken P-Bag Cave, and we have a Wilson encounter on our hands. Cast fire, gonna get magic 3.
The extremely rare kill of the Wilsons, worth $50 today.
Yeah, that was a good kill.
List. That is the hidden Kasuto tile, so not going to cost Taelin anything that they didn't check it.
All right. Old
Okay.
Kasuto has shield, which is always a good spell to have.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit less value than it usually is, just because Fire Thunder is going to be speaking for basically all of Taelin's magic until the end of time. But, you know, there are still nasty rooms that in GP it could be worth casting in. Certainly worth the short walk.
I mean, even in that room or that screen of Old Kasuto, Fire Thunder is a godsend. Gonna take the death here, refill resources, though the death in and of itself was unintentional.
Definitely the best time to fall into the water is on the first pit of the screen, and not the last pit.
Oh, I agree. Less time lost overall. All right. P5.
All right. So it looks like, man, we had a hint that the boots were in the west. They've got to be accessible somewhere in here, and they're not in the palaces.
So the only locations left that boots could be at are Grandma's Basement, Spell Tower, or Risen. Since they can't be on the water tile.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna, you know, admonish someone for doing palaces that are in logic when they can, but I'm gonna be continuing to wonder where are those boots.
Well, this palace was in logic until it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean that. I think there was another direction, right? That Taelin could have gone. So the logic is smart enough to know whether or not the item itself is blocked, and so a palace that contains glove blocks can still contain a glove, and that be logical for you to clear it. But it's definitely a bad sign when you start to see glove blocks.
So we are about to see the item here in 2, because... Oh, and we're about to see the item in 5. It's the magic key and a 1-up.
Yeah, as far as quality of items go, Initsu wins by a mile.
Yeah, a landslide victory on that.
Fairy's still very expensive. I mean, Initsu would have been stuck in that room, not being able to get out because the Fairy Therakidor would have had to take a death. But yeah, with Fairy being so expensive, it's going to be a savior. Like, these 4-tile jumps, wow, gets the 4-tile jump, even having to stab an enemy, does it twice! Not easy.
Nice! Very, very well done by Initsu there. 4-tile jumps, I will always say, they are hard. They are never free.
Definitely worth practicing.
Oh no! Taelin took an attack level, could have taken a magic level to refill.
That definitely looks like it
avoided
was
the
an
death.
accident. Yeah. It's so rare that you hit a level up and you're like, attack? Nah, I don't want attack. But this specific circumstance, pretty meaningful one. Man, so many key doors here in this palace.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, and this is you'll hear me talk a lot about how important it is to get 2 casts of fairy per life. It literally doubles the ability to pass through doors. And yeah, no, he's just stuck. He's gonna take another death.
I was gonna say he could try to kill the Mago.
Yeah, killing the Mago is a bit tricky though, because if it doesn't give enough experience, it's going to be a much slower death trying to die.
I mean, that is true. Alright, continuing right. We have a 10-suit generator.
Yep. And a bunch more forks for initsu.
And another 1-up for Taelin, just dropping out of the large enemy pool. Opportune timing for it as well.
Yeah, he picked up a 1-up as well in the room above. He has taken multiple deaths just to refill magic and is still absolutely fine. They're just red jars with extra steps.
Pretty much. Alright, we got another massive fork here. We got a left, gonna head upwards on this elevator. And there's a right as well as a 1-up.
Yeah, that's gonna take a jump though. You can only grab enemy items that you can stab there without casting jump.
Little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Just on that hunt for Guma, while initsu is on the hunt for Helmet Head.
Yeah, kind of surprising how long this P2 has been. I mean, Palace is about the same time, and you would expect P2 to be over by now, and both runners still absolutely no idea where the boss is.
What is P2 but P5 Lite?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is. I mean, it's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 rooms shorter on average, but...
And here's the boss.
The real kick in the pants, though, is that unlike this P2 initsu's in, Taelin could explore this whole P5 just to find out that that glove block was actually the way that they had to go.
Yeah, that's a big possibility. Alright, initsu, first crystal on the board. And pulled the magic key out of 2 in a pretty good situation, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, picking up that any key is huge. Because it means that he'll be able to just sort of blast out all these palaces in the west before heading back east with quite a bit more experience.
I mean, so long as there aren't any glove blocks.
Yeah, it's always the danger. We still have no hints, no idea where that glove is.
Yeah, not knowing where the glove is a bit of a problem, but not as bad of a problem as what it could be. Taelin did take a lot of damage in that room, and finally you see what the spawner has.
Going 10 suits, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think the spawners are vanilla in this flag set. Maybe I'm wrong. They certainly are vanilla here.
Taelin gets the P bag. It's only 30 points. A little unfortunate to see, but sometimes it's like, so be it. And it gets bopped into the lava.
Yeah, still 2 lives remaining, though, despite having died 4 times in this palace already.
Yeah. The Link dolls have been plentiful.
Hey, if they're there, use them.
I agree. Those are very wise words. Now there's going to be an elevator up at the end of this room, which means Taelin could be looking at Guma here in just a moment with 334 as the levels. Little bit of a scary fight if that's the case, but it's not just yet.
This room also contains a glove block, and that's worth knowing. One thing to know about the way the randomizer does stuff, it doesn't know how exits connect to other exits. Each room is just considered blocked by the things that are in it, and so this path that he's on is technically not in logic. I mean, it's also a dead end, but technically not in logic, because even though there wasn't a glove block on going from the elevator to the right, that whole room is considered to be glove blocked by the logic, which is not good.
Yeah, the way that the logic works in this randomizer is both interesting, but also very confusing.
The biggest thing stopping us from changing the logic so that it knows about how to get from each connection to each connection is...
This isn't the one with the glove block.
Oh, I thought that was the one with the glove block. Okay, well, it's the one with the dead end, so...
Double dead end at that.
There's a very similar version of that room with the ceiling above and the like weird jump in the glove block. So yeah, unfortunately, this P5 extremely long and extremely glove blocked.
Yep. So Taelin's gonna have to run out of here, but has the exploration for that P5 pretty much down pat.
Yeah,
we'll
the
probably
real
have to go
unfortunate
right
thing
at start.
Yeah, that glove block was basically just hold right, and that means that if Initsu comes in there with glove, he's probably also just going to hold right and not have to explore almost any of the palace.
That is very true, and Initsu going to go ahead and opt to cast Fairy for this room, which, I mean, that's something I can get down with. Yeah,
I mean, that's a big part of the value of the magical key too, right? It's not just that it means you don't have to, gather more keys or cast Fairy. The fact that you don't have to cast Fairy is going to save you a whole bunch of time, in that you could use Fairy to save time elsewhere and not have to worry about, well, I gotta save my magic or I'm not gonna be able to get through doors.
That's very, very true. And are we gonna see Taelin blitzing for P2 here?
Yep, and this is gonna be hopefully a faster P2 for Taelin than it was for Initsu.
We'll find out.
Thankfully, we know not glove blocked, so...
Initsu down the elevator, finds Karok.
I'm gonna have to either level up or die. We'll see which happens first.
Or just get a couple magic jar drops, that works too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Iron Knuckle could have helped out either way, but refuses a blue jar, the rudest possible drop.
Alright. So Taelin going through 2, Initsu taking on that harder Karok, dealing with the sine, cosine waves, as well as the high and low beams that do show up within this fight.
Math nerds will appreciate asking J-Rose sometime about the math behind, they are not technically sine waves. The NES is way too stupid for that.
I have a game that would like to beg to differ, but that's a whole different story.
Tables. Yeah.
You know which game I'm talking about too.
I don't actually.
Blaster Master.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, the NES is too stupid to do most basic math, up to and including division.
Yeah.
And so a lot of games just have lookup tables for doing either lookup tables or clever approximations.
I mean, I like that it does approximations. Taelin going to take the death to refill magic, and we'll soon have that magic key, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this was the palace with the magic key. I think this... Yeah, because this was... Initsu had gotten himself sort of stuck, in air quotes, behind that door, would have had to take a death, but going to be able to get the any key here instead and waltz on out. It's going to be a welcome addition for Taelin as well. Doing some safe strats, just stabbing in the head, no jackhammering.
Playing it safe.
Is it $30 for Horsehead? That is just everything rolled down this seed.
Yeah, that's like the minimum roll. It's unfortunate to see that things rolled down.
Yeah, well, the rando giveth and absolutely sometimes taketh away.
The rando giveth, and then the rando says, yeah, no, you're not going to have fun today.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Thunder is here.
That's true.
That also is a big difference for Taelin as well, having that magic key. In fact, speaking of Fire Thunder, here is a perfect place to cast it. Not only will it probably kill the enemies, Thunder clears all projectiles from the screen, including those hammers.
Yeah, always super useful to be able to have that in the back pocket.
Okay.
Nice loop.
An unfortunate loop for Initsu all the way back to start, and now it's like, well, come on, now where do I go? We've basically seen 100% clears on all of these palaces so far. This one looking like it's going to be very similar.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but sometimes it is what it is.
Very down to 30 at Magic 5, so going to have 3 casts at 6 bars.
Alright, Taelin gonna take a different left here and get a dead end. Gonna explore to the back of it, see what resides on that ledge, and it's a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, this room with the dripper can be weird and despawn the items sometimes because the drippers can fill up the sprite slots.
And that was definitely a case of the sprite slots being filled up. Alright, time to go all the way up the elevator and go left. Red jar as the item in P4.
Yeah, it won't ever replace a collectible, like a palette, like a real item, because those get priority, but sometimes keys can get eaten.
Alright. Taelin continuing through 2. Initsu up on palaces right now with 2 and 4 both placed. Gonna head back over to the east.
Yeah. I mean, there is still one more palace left to clear on the west. It was a 3 or 6.
Yeah, and we're not sure which one it was, but whichever one it is will be huge.
We got one link feed I made into on the first Wilson. Try it on the second Wilson. Gives up just as a classic fairy feat, no problem.
Very quickly executed fairy feat.
Yeah, I'd say this is a quicker P2 as well for Taelin than Initsu.
A little bit quicker, yeah.
Gonna make up a little bit of that time lost on the huge amount of P4.
But at the same time, I'm wondering if Initsu is searching for new Kasuto at this point, because the only spells that are missing are Spell. And let's see. Thunder itself, I believe.
We haven't found actual thunder yet. So either of those two would be very welcome. Spell would make the chance of Nukasuno having those boots be massive. And Thunderspell, as far as initsu is concerned, is required still.
Yeah. And thank you for pointing that out, JLo. The double level for Taelin, I believe it was Taelin getting a double, was quite nice. Yeah, that's
Magic 5. We'll see how cheap 5, definitely the usual inflection point. We'll see how cheap Fire Thunder is. I'd be seeing how cheap Fire Thunder. I'd be casting Fire Thunder right now.
Oh, I would too. 9.
All right. I want to see Fire Thunders in every room from Taelin. You've got the Eddie key. You don't need your magic for anything else. You've got like 15, well, probably like 13 casts on some napkin math of Fire Thunder at this point.
Subtract 3.
Okay, it's just
because it's 96 MP. So only 10 casts right now.
Right. Okay. I didn't actually do that. That was Vibe mathematics.
All right. Taking on the Rebo here to get the item. Are we looking at potentially going for the corner strat?
Looks like it didn't quite line it up. Yeah, just gonna do some normal stuff. Life 5, this many bars and shield gonna be no problem.
Oh, 1 hit remains. Should be able to get it without too much of a problem, though. As baboom.
That is a healthy horse head from initsu. Even an attack 4 took like 8 stabs.
Yeah, horsehead on initsu side was a bit of a pain. The child coming in from this 3 or 6, whichever it is. And that is the 3rd gem placed for initsu at 45 minutes, almost 46.
Yeah, Taylor's gonna have to find a way to catch up at some point, and Fire Thunder has got to be it. I mean, not only how ridiculously good it is for making dungeons. Yeah, just cast Fire Thunder here, right? Kill the projectiles, kill the Iron Knuckle, kill the Wizrobe. Just solves all of your problems.
Literally. All right. 1 cave located for initsu. Gonna continue on. Finds the water tile. Finds a town. This could be huge.
Yeah, any town gonna be big for initsu.
I appreciate Taelin not going for the extended downstab jump, as I like to call it.
Okay, so spell in its vanilla location.
Child required for thunder.
Yeah. Sorry, this is normally reflect, but yeah, child.
Or is it child required for spell?
Sorry, I was backwards. Yeah, it's child required for spell, which could be boots, right? I mean, we still haven't seen where GP is. Absolutely, GP could be boots blocked. Yeah, he needs to. Still thinking he's going to have to get Thunder. Is going to get this kid hint. It's going to be a useful one.
So if I'm not mistaken, we saw Taelin go into 5 on the east.
Yes, 5 was on the east. West
and one was on the east.
Yeah, 1 is on the east. So it would be unless GP was Maze Island and I missed it, that means that we're going to have a vanilla GP in the valley.
GP was the other 3-6, or okay, not GP. Maze Island was the other 3-6, I believe.
Okay, and yeah, that means
GP should be vanilla.
And GP also, we've seen, isn't boots blocked. They were able to. No one actually wanted to go into it, but they did see the entrance earlier. So
yes, Hammer coming in from Grandma's basement.
Okay, that's of questionable value. Now that we've seen both towns, not terribly likely that something useful is going to be under the new Kasuto tile.
It could still be Risen Peabag Cave. And Glove could still be in Spec Rock.
Yeah. That's right. We've gone through all of this nonsense of where is the boots, where are our towns, how do we get everything together. At no point have we mentioned. We still don't have any idea where that glove is, and we're running out of spots. Definitely makes that child hint a lot more reasonable for Initsu, because boots could. It could be boots in Spell Tower and then glove on that water tile right next to it, right?
Exactly.
Oh, look at this hot mess for Initsu. This is where you need Fire Thunder. Just bam. Just cast it a couple times, get 1,000 experience.
All right, 4 coming in hot for Taelin here.
Yeah, I like it. You're well equipped. Just sort of do whatever's close.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about doing this. All right, I need to setting up the fairy feet, gets it no problem. Back to the main or the starting part of, oh good lord, this lag of the East.
It's real fun. Multiple different kinds of enemies shooting projectiles, 4 or 5 on the screen at once. Just beautiful.
Anitsu's doing it. Spec
Hey.
Rock right here.
Glove,
Is this
glove,
going to be the glove?
Oh,
It's the glove!
baby! We did it. All right. Absolutely huge for Initsu. I mean, Tato's going to find new Kasuto eventually, but that is a big find.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant find. So glove for Initsu. If he were to pick up the trophy, if he doesn't have it, then he'd be in a pretty good spot, because that would then allow him to have Fire Thunder. He'd be able to just fly through the rest of the seed.
Yeah, unfortunately, he spent so much time in that maze looking for that item, didn't find it. I really don't think he's ever coming back to it.
That's a possibility. So, aside from picking up the child out of 3, which was on the west, for all intents and purposes, Initsu's in go mode. But once Taelin gets over to that part of the east where New Kasuto and Darunia were, Taelin's going to be able to fly. Just absolutely fly.
Yeah, just as soon as he starts casting a bunch of Fire Thunder, we still are seeing very little actual Fire Thundering, and it just made me sad. There we
You were
go.
saying?
See? Just press the button. It's 9 MP, and it just solves all your problems. Like, look at how much time he's having to slow down here to stab that stupid Iron Knuckle. Nope, press the button. Problem solved.
I like this play. Leaving P4, gonna come through the maze and start heading towards P5, as Initsu has just entered P5.
Yeah, I mean, it's Allison time. From Initsu's perspective, just has to go pick up that child in P3.
Now, what we don't know with this is Is Guma just going to be directly off to the right or down that elevator past the glove block?
If it is just to the right here past the glove block, then it's going to be a massive advantage for initsu just spending like 10 minutes less in this palace.
Oh, absolutely. We'll just have to wait and see here. As he is continuing off to the right, he goes through, and no, it's a landing room.
It's just more P5. There's so much of it.
I love P5, said nobody ever.
There's P6 is long, but the boss is worth of a lot of experience and is not terribly difficult to kill even on low levels. P5 is just even longer than P6 on average, and your reward for going through all of that nonsense is fighting the hardest palace boss in the game.
Yeah, because Guma can be an absolute pain in the butt and just turn around and kill you for what feels like no apparent reason whatsoever, and you're just sitting there confused, like, what just happened?
Thankfully, initsu has life 6-7 bars, so gonna be able to take a number of hits with shield.
I agree with that. I sob a little bit as well every time I come up to P5, because I don't know if it's going to be a long P5 or a short P5, and in this case it was just past that glove block. Oh, initsu, calm down, sir.
It's okay. Guma is tired of that crap. Like, no, you will fight me in a sane and normal manner. Ooh, Guma rolled low today, too, though.
Yeah, Guma rolled real low.
Can he get the second? Oh, one hit away, Guma does not get the second kill.
He does not, but holy moly, that was a very, very nice fight.
Also,
from
we finally
initsu.
find an enemy that rolled up on experience, and it's totally useless.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my goodness. Taelin just Fire Thunder again. There you go.
Right? And it's free too, because he's going to get the magic level.
But this means he's going to have Attack 5 coming out of P6, which is real nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. All his bubbles draining all of his fire casts.
He
Good dodges
doesn't.
getting through. Oh, commentator curse.
Those last two were bound to happen. Oh no!
It's okay. Still got 3 lives remaining.
That's just a few. Alright. I need to going through the connector here.
It's
And-
nothing.
Taelin in the room that I like to call the teeth room. Continuing down the elevator, does not find Barba all the way down it, but has another intersection available.
Oh, that's a good catch from Danger All in chat. It looks like Taelin doesn't have fast casting on.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Little sad when you've got like a Fire Thunder or Fire Life where you might want to smash it.
yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
Alright, so initsu really just needs to clear these last 2 palaces, but forgetting where they are, taking it up A.
I have a feeling he may have just remembered where 3 was. As blue skies show up on Taelin's screen, going to use Reflect, and it's time to fight a Barba.
Yeah, Barba rolled down about 25%, it looks like. Pretty reasonable.
Taking the 4-hit strategy here. I actually like the slightly more safe play on this kill.
Yeah, no reason to rush it. Especially since he rolled low and you've got attack 4 is okay. It's not gonna be too slow.
Gets the kill.
There's our standard experience values. -2 for Barba.
And we are all tied up on gems. Information, though, right now goes to Initsu with that glove in hand. Still has 3 just kind of memory hold as to where it's located. And Taelin opting to dive back in. Might feel like he has nowhere left to go on the east.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little stinky. There's still a lot of P6 left looking for that item. But there aren't that many locations left to check for Taelin. And there's got to be a glove somewhere. This is a reasonable gamble. Here we go. Hey, like 500 experience? Just Fire Thunder's great. It's a little less great in this dead end.
Dead ends are great.
Oh, interesting thing there. Initsu casted Thunder just to hit an enemy and got the reverse fire spell out of it. So Initsu now does not have Fire Thunder, but knows that Thunder is fire.
Yeah, and does pick up the trophy to be able to get the fire spell proper.
Yeah, and if you know Thunder is fire, you're gonna go get it. That's not a question.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's basically right outside the maze, so not even gonna be a long trip.
You could call it a rather quick trip.
Hey!
All right. Taelin continuing through 6 here. Looking for that item.
This is definitely sort of a glove or bust gamble, right? If you feel like you're behind, there aren't that many more things to search, and if you do find a glove like buried deep in P6 or something like it, you feel absolutely fantastic about it.
Oh yeah, but little does he know, he's really not too terribly far behind. He's got the 2 palaces on the east to do, and then he can just jump straight into GP and be able to finish this out. But
yeah,
Taelin, Initsu...
If the glove were here, he'd be way ahead, but...
Yep, but Initsu has come here into 6, and it's now a matter of how long does Initsu spend in here. As Taelin finds the item, we know it's not the glove, but the question now becomes, what is this item? It's a cross.
And it basically had to be junk. We know where the hammer is, the glove is, the boots are, the medicine. It's got to be the cross or a container, and unfortunately, the cross, the worst possible outcome.
Hey, Taelin gonna head back over to the east. Just gotta wade through some swamp.
He's just got to find where the remaining 2 towns are, get that hammer from Kasudo,
and then call it a day after getting the glove from DM.
Yeah. At that point, it's just put your foot down and clear some palaces.
Oh, okay, good. Had enough time to queue up Fairy and cast it, so all is good there. Gonna opt to fire through, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, why not? When the game gives you the busted kill everything on screen for 9 mana button, you press it repeatedly.
If only it were 8.
Yeah, 8 would be better.
Yeah, because 8 would bring it up to 12 casts.
Yeah, but you can't always get what you want. 8 is the minimum cost for a spell on any on the not low magic level settings.
Imagine a spell costing 4.
Yeah, it can cost 4 if you pick low magic cost. But when it's randomized, the minimum cost is 8, and I believe the maximum cost is 120.
Yep. Because
Which-
Thunder, even at Magic 1, is 120.
Yeah. Thunder not allowed to roll even higher than that. The game takes a little bit of mercy on you.
All right, Taelin going into the glove-blocked room. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do anything in it, but now Initsu is continuing to dive through this P6, finds that loop, and is now on the bottom floor, soon to probably find Barba.
He's picked up so much experience from just killing random things on the way here that he is going to be able to take the double level.
Hopefully so.
I guess he still needs a couple hundred more. Oh no, he still needs a couple hundred more.
He needs about 900 more, I think.
Well, this the boss is 1,000.
I thought Guma was.
Oh, that's right. Guma was 1,000 and Barba was 300.
Yeah.
All right, not gonna get the double level. Not even close. Although,
Beautiful Barba fight, though.
Yeah, at this point, I would say that it's probably better just to not even try to worry about the double level. Like, even if it were a couple hundred more, just put the gem in and get out of here.
And that's exactly what he's doing. Gonna take attack 6, and then it's time to go back to the west, hit P3, and call it a day. As
But
Taelin...
But he should get Fire Thunder on the way.
I mean, optimally, yes.
I have to assume he was shooting a lot of fireballs out when he cast Thunder in the maze. He's got to know that fire is thunder. I don't know if he remembers where that town is to be able to cash in and get it. But if he doesn't, that's a big opportunity for Taelin to potentially catch up in GP, because that's the place Fire Thunder is most valuable.
I mean, Taelin's even got a large opportunity to catch up here, because there's a chance that Initsu has forgotten where P3 is, and that's going to be a bit detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, Initsu still has a lead right now, I would say, but definitely not so much that he can afford to squander it.
Oh yeah, because P1 will be relatively quick. P5, since Taelin's explored most of the rest of it, should be relatively fast for him to get through. It's going to be going into GP that's going to be a bit rougher just because of the encounters in the Valley of Death.
Another up A on the overworld from Initsu, just still looking for that palace. If
Nice
I remember
back
right,
spawn.
if I remember right, it was all the way like northeast, right?
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah. I'm very bad at remembering where palaces are. Usually, I use the map tracker on Emo Tracker. I don't record much on it, but I do record the general direction that each of the palaces were, just so, you know, an hour later when I'm trying to find that last palace, I can just check my map instead of trying to remember, because I have old man brain.
And that's fair. All right. Taelin should be getting the boots here in just a moment.
Yeah, he did get the child previously, so he's gonna have spell. Gonna be able to check spell tower, get his container. I think has to be container or minor item.
How about boots?
No, that's right. The boots were spell tower. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, it basically had to be the boots. And Itsu just doesn't need the boots, right?
No,
At
boots
this
aren't
point.
required for the seed, but they do make things a little bit faster, especially with going back through the east, because dodging quite a few encounters on your way through. And at the same time, this is going to allow Taelin to have a straight shot back to the Death Mountain connector to go in there, pick up the glove from Spec Rock, leave Death Mountain, and immediately do 1 and 5.
As long as Taelin goes the right way in Death Mountain. You really just had to go west, but if you start going into caves, things can get bad quick.
Absolutely.
Initsu did find P3, but did find, in my opinion, the superior location. The place
With
to get
that-
Fire Thunder.
With that beautiful Fire Thunder. And here's Risen.
Yeah, I mean, presumably just had to be boots blocked here. This is the rare occurrence of having an island east or west, and then the boots not actually being required at all for anything, or at least not anything important. Heart Container not going to be sad though.
Nah, Heart Container's always nice to pick up, albeit not necessary.
Yeah, Magic Container I probably would have preferred given the situation, but perfectly reasonable. The reason number 8 that Fire Thunder is great. You know, not only does it make combat really easy, clears projectiles, cost almost nothing, but a lot of the time in GP, especially when you're on 5 or 6 containers, you're constantly trying to preserve enough magic to cast Thunder, which is most of your magic, just so if you find Thunderbird, you don't have to take that death. Well, Fire Thunder isn't just a free win against every enemy on the map, it's also not have to worry about Thunder cost the entire time you're in GP.
Exactly. And it's also the ability to use Thunder multiple times while you're in GP. And Initsu going to be able to get the item out of here very quickly, going to find out it's that child and be like, well, I kind of just wasted my time, didn't I?
Yeah, he got the hint. He knows this is the child, but may have just forgotten.
All right. Taelin finds Death Valley again. He's in that right spot to be able to get back over to DM, but he's forgotten where that connector is. He's completely forgotten where that connector is.
Yeah, the good news is that he obviously knows that's what he's looking for, because there's not anything else to find. It's got to be DM. That's the only place that doesn't have the items from already. But thankfully, Boot's going to make checking everything quite a bit quicker. The traditional thing under the forest is a Wilson encounter.
Oh, absolutely. And I like that point, Patrick. Thinking that you're clever enough to use Thunder to erase T-Bird's projectiles, but instead you soft lock your game.
Yeah, very important for runners who have not used a lot of Fire Thunder before and don't know. If you kill Thunder does deal damage to Thunderbird. And if you kill Thunderbird with the Thunder spell, you soft lock and have to take it up A.
It's a thing, and that's the best way I can put it.
And you can do it. It does clear his projectiles. Can save you at a pinch, but you have to be very, very careful. All right, Taylor does find Death Mountain, does immediately go west, checks a cave, and then says, wait a second, that's a rock, and is now immediately going to leave DM.
Picks up the glove and is good to go as Initsu is going through P3 right now. And here we go. It's a race. Who will make it into GP first? Will it be Taelin needing to clear P1 and P5, though he knows where both of the bosses are, or Initsu, who has just made it to Rebo?
And that was a much
ready to go
quicker P3 than Taelin had.
The DM glove strikes back. All right, here we go. Initsu going to pick up the last level, which is going to be Life 7 here. Up A, save, And now it is time to go to the east, go through the Valley of Death, and head into GP.
And GP, of course, is going to be extremely long and trolly, as we all want it to be, and not completely free, right?
Oh, hopefully so.
We're hoping for pain.
I always love me a good painful GP. There's that medicine from 1.
Taelin looking to complete tracker percent.
Pretty close to it. initsu, on the other hand, hitting a very, very laggy encounter. Gonna make you stop Fire Thunder.
Yeah, just press the button that kills all the enemies. That's the answer to the lag.
That's the answer to all the lag.
The projectiles also generate a bunch of lag, but good news, Thunder also kills those.
Yeah, Thunder gets rid of literally everything. Pretty sure Taelin forgot that that is just a dead end.
Yeah, could get a 1-up from it, but decides not worth.
Alright, initsu taking a death just to refill resources, which is a play that I personally always like. And continuing through the valley. Just nailing these fairy feet. Taelin clearing P1, gonna get that 5th gem placed, but still has the rest of P5 to finish out.
Should be a quick P5, but still gonna be at least 3, maybe 4 minutes behind into GP, I guess.
Thereabout, yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what happens here in this GP. We're hoping for a longer one and not a very free GP. And we already have a junction at the start.
And that's what you're hoping for if you're Taelin at this point, right? Just a bunch of forks, something you could gamble on, gain some time, get ahead.
And then gamble left right at the start. Ooh, unfortunately takes a hit. This room, always a bit of a pain. This is what I like to call a room of death, as it shows exactly why it's a room of death.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to see initsu. Oh, it looks like the first spawner bugged out a little bit from respawning in the room. And initsu, you just have to, just faces left for a little bit and gets the behind spawn.
Yeah, all you need is that quick little back spawn and you're good to go. As Taelin now has entered P5 again, gonna hold right for a little bit just to check everything out. Has that glove in tow, so the glove blocks are no longer going to be a problem. Gets bopped, but does not take a lava bath.
Oh, a very convenient fairy here for initsu. Gonna recover from basically no resources.
Yeah, amazingly timed fairy there. And finds the snake room.
Yep, thankfully he does have upstab, but still decides against it. Ooh, gonna be very difficult to clear this one without fairy. These jumps are not easy.
And unfortunately, the spicy chicken says no.
Yeah, well, now he can cast fairy, thankfully. Just this one of the harder rooms in the game as far as fighting enemies and jumping over lava pits, and the fairy spell thankfully makes it all a complete joke.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, gets the fairy cast off there. And finds... oh, this room.
Sadly not the version with a fairy in it, but...
Nope. Little unfortunate, but not the end of the world.
And we are on the east, so the Mo is in GP not visible.
Oh, holy cow. He gets the shield cast off. That's good.
And a good use of Fire Thunder, too, just to bop the enemy away from him.
Not my favorite blocking room in GP, but my second favorite.
I appreciate that you can ferry your way out of it. Very, very nice Guma kill from Taelin. Gonna be in GP in just a second as well.
Yeah, that was a very, very clean Guma kill from Taelin. As Initsu finds an elevator shaft, continues up the shaft, and this room can be a pain, especially with the very, very small amount of room that you have to get that jump, but he does it no problem, and now he's going to continue left at this point. Now,
speaking of pain, lava waffles with chickens.
Yeah. And that's going to be a death.
Good news is Death's going to give him enough magic to get rid of that bird in the traditional manner. Typically does take several Fire Thunders to be able to take one down, but it's cheap enough. Only 2 casts, not too bad.
Yeah, that's very manageable.
It can be 3 if their health rolls higher.
Taelin not even going to attempt the fairy feat, just going to go through normally.
The spicy chicken's also tanky enough to live potentially 2 Thunders.
Alright, up the elevator. I recognize this junction.
Big question for Taelin. Does he feel like he's far enough behind at the start to go left? Right has been a whole bunch of nothing, so definitely the possibility that left is going to be good here.
I mean, this race could be sniped with just go left.
At the very least, could save him some time, coming up to one of these junctions a different way. But you never know where your opponent is, how close they are to finishing, how much you need to gamble. But you could probably get the vibe, an hour and 20 minutes in with basically 100% of locations checked. That you're not.
And Initsu has looped. Taelin's going to opt to go right. And I have a feeling we're about to see Initsu go left. Just under 6-minute difference between Initsu and Taelin with getting into GP.
No one's going left! So, Taelin now ahead with a huge informational disadvantage, but ahead on the board by about half a screen.
Yeah, it's going to be... I think there is a left that we have not seen taken, and that was down at the bottom of the elevator shaft. Unless there was unless that's where we came in at. So it could be the snake room, or it could be just left at the start. So I'm pretty sure that Initsu's going to check the snake room first before checking the left at the start. Which... it's not a bad play, in my opinion, because you're still getting exploration and information regardless.
Also,
I would just
is
rather
caught
check
up.
the left at the start.
Just a aggressive application of the Fire Thunder has caught Initsu up. They are now basically tied. But here's a divergence. Oh, Taelin gonna go right, unfortunately. Taelin needs to gamble somewhere. If he stays in the standard routes, then he's just going to be treading old territory that Initsu already found.
Could have more resources, and it is just left at the start.
It's got to be left at the start, right? I mean, I would be windmill slamming left at the start here, right? Don't even... Yeah, no, here it is. It's left at the start.
Oh, it could be left here.
Yeah, I say, I don't think we've seen a left at this this junction either. There's still a lot of lefts available, but the one at the start has the kind benefit of being right at the start, so you don't have to go a long way back for it.
Oh, if it's one of these deeper junctions that actually has the correct path to T-Bird, that's gonna feel so bad. And that's exactly what it's looking like, because I believe that this is the bottom of the elevator. Yep. I think that was the bottom of the elevator with the path that Taelin's going through.
Left at the T-junction, this room, left right here. The way the initsu's going.
Yep, I think this is it. I think this left is the correct direction.
It's certainly a direction we haven't seen yet, and we're starting to run out of those. No, this was not. This is just a best of one, because it's just a seeding race. Once we start the brackets proper later this week, we'll have
the best of three starting up.
Best of threes until the final is going to be best of five, sort of how we normally do brackets.
All right, initsu down the elevator to the right. Unfortunately, not finding T-Bird yet, but horizontal dots are not bad since they don't deal very much damage. And finds another elevator. And it's a four-way. Could go right at the four-way. Gonna go down. Finds a right. Gonna go up. Finds a dead end with a potential refill. Gets the refill. Is he gonna hold right? He's gonna hold right.
So that's another opportunity potentially for Taelin to catch up if the bottom of that elevator right ends up being the correct way. There's so many forks. Why are there so many forks? That's a loop, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And initsu recognizes the loop. This GP is atrocious. That's a dead end.
Yeah, no, it's going to be backtrack all the way back, go back down at the four-way, take that way. I think initsu has routed this GP really sensibly, and just every single time he makes a decision, just gets bopped on the nose by GP saying no.
Yeah, that's how it's been every single time, and Taelin, I believe, has come to the realization that all he has done is looped. So initsu going to go down the elevator and continue off to the right here. And it is a lava pit room. Gonna go ahead and ferry through this, which is always a safe bet.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does cost him the last of his magic. Not enough to cast even 9-point Fire Thunder. But it's okay.
That's fine.
Death will save him.
He was still on all of his lives. He is now down 1 life.
That's some clean GPing to still have all of his lives remaining.
Oh yeah, like while Taelin was going through the loop, for the most part, he still had all of his lives remaining. And here's Thunderbird for initsu. Gonna go ahead and shield up, get set up, cast fire for Thunder, and here we go. Reflect comes out, and it's off to the races to damage T-Bird down, going with 3 on each pendulum swing, which is something I like, and gets a clean Thunderbird fight.
He did have 1 hit in there where the Reflect spell saved him. A fireball came in from behind, but Reflect not only lets you block the fireballs, reduces the size of your hitbox, and saved him from taking a hit. So always good to do if you can afford it.
Absolutely, and Taelin taking a dive into the lava going to take a game over. Now, the question
can't be that much more GP left.
I was about to say, the question becomes, how much more GP is left? Because, yeah, there shouldn't be that much more, but... Oh.
You need to try to go high in this waffle, but yeah, no, against spicy chickens, the bottom path is the safer path.
You don't want to go high against the spicy chicken. Now, against these guys, you definitely want to try to get a quantum leap and go high. Which he does.
Makes it look easy.
Alright, elevator at the end of this room going to lead up and most likely lead to Dark Link. For most of the rooms in GP have been seen, so this should be Dark Link, and it is. Eight hits stands between initsu and finishing this out and being seed number 5, if I remember correctly, going into brackets here.
The winner of this race will be facing Custom in the first round. The loser will be facing Sigil. Not easy matches either way.
No, and just like that, initsu has finished.
For being basically 100% seed, it's still a pretty good time. Not only like pretty much 100% of locations initsu saved himself not having to go back with the kid to get those boots and do the last couple checks, but basically 100%ing every palace short of 5. initsu was saved a bit by having the glove ahead of time. Taelin actually 100%ing every palace.
Oh yeah, and definitely get your GGs out for initsu after this monstrous seed. That was a final time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 1 whole second.
Almost sub 130.
With how rough this seed's logic ended up being, and then just the method of progression that ended up coming about, it's a good time.
Oh yeah. Again, for being not only 100% seed, but a bit of an overworld heavy 100% seed, it's not bad at all.
initsu.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great.
GG's.
GG's. Did you see me looking for Palace 3 for like 15 minutes?
Yeah, well, we knew you were looking for Palace 3, but we weren't sure if you were also going to try and pick up Fire Thunder on the way. Because you had seen that it was fire from the cast, and Taelin had Fire Thunder early, and we thought that could have been a big advantage if Taelin had it coming into GP and you didn't, but ended up being basically just 100% clear on GP and most of the palaces as well.
Yeah, unfortunately. So how far along is he?
Taelin just threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Not really anything to play for at this point. It makes sense. You had about a 5-minute lead going into GP, but there was definitely plenty of opportunities to take the right path and catch up. But unfortunately, neither of you took the right path. You just took the wrong path every single time and full clear GP.
I see.
And that is Taelin joining us. GG's, Taelin.
Hello, GG's.
So if you had
GG's
gone down the elevator at that 4-way and continued down that path, you would have made it to T-Bird, and then 3 rooms later was Dark Link.
Man, there were so many intersections in this one. I'm like, oh my gosh, which kind of made me feel good. Like, okay, there's a lot of bad ways to go. And then I kept realizing I'm looping back into myself. I need to get to a place I haven't seen. And so I saw it, and I'm like, up or down, pick. And I kind of remember that last room that I ended in was a dead end. But I was so frazzled at that point, and I couldn't keep track of anything that I'm like, no, I'll just up A. And then I don't race with the race room open. So when I saw he was done, I was like, oh, thank God. My brain is so tired.
Understandable. this seed was a bit of a gauntlet because you needed to be able to figure out how to get to New Kasuto with the required amount of MCs just to
Right.
get the hammer to then either up A or backtrack to the DM entrance to then get the glove from Spec Rock, and from there everything else was pretty easy.
Right. Yeah, and that first time I went to the east, I got locked into a combat I couldn't get out of. I'm like, that's fine. I have the entire west to go through. So I pretty much full cleared the west and mapped it out. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. And I know where Maze Island is, so east has to be the answer. And so I did that long south route that ended at 5. And I hope everyone enjoyed every room in every palace, because I'm pretty sure I got most of them. There was a lot of rooms.
You nearly full cleared the game.
Yep, I'm darn close. And I had missed that bridgeway kind of in the middle of the east that went over to where like P1 is and then up to where New Kasuto and Darunia was. I had just missed that on my first run through. And like, is it a volcano? It can't be a volcano, it's islands. That's kind of weird. So then I was like, I'm just going to clear out what I can, because by that point I had finally gotten some levels in Fairy and super cheap Thunder. I'm like, okay, everything in the west in Maze Island dies now. Why try to figure this out? And so that's why I just started clearing stuff.
Yeah, you were the first one to actually get the fire spell, which we found out was linked to Thunder after you did decide to use it in one of those combats.
Right.
The main question I have is, since you don't have the repeatable, or didn't have the repeatable spellcasting on, at least that's what it seemed like, is that why you weren't using Fire Thunder as often?
I'm gonna
I had it
feign.
on, at
I'm
least.
gonna feign a little bit of ignorance. What?
So there is actually a quality of life setting in the rando that you can have repeatable spellcasting turned on, so you don't have to go into the menu every time to queue up the spell again.
Really?
Truly.
Probably gonna have to look
Yeah,
that
it's
up
pretty
after
good.
this. Did not even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's an optional setting because it doesn't affect the seed at all. And you know, it's not all upside. It definitely makes it a lot easier to accidentally, double tap Fairy and be like, come on.
Right.
Yeah, it's an option to 0 if you want it.
Is it just in the randomizer? Sorry, this is not what we're supposed to be talking about right now.
It's in the configuration tab.
Huh.
I mean, even still, that it's information for those that actually want to pick this up and give it a shot, because I mean, we are in Upstarts, so it's still Upstarts information.
Yeah, because I mean, super cheap. And that was, I mean, I just got lucky when it comes to fire. I just happened to have the trophy when I got there. So I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, levels, I really thought, because a lot of the encounters were randomized to that like one screen desert that didn't have any enemies. So I really, grinding in this was not super easy. So that was one of the nice things when I found like 2 and gutted through a lot of it, and 5 and gutted through a lot of it. It forced me to kill a lot of stuff. And that's where I finally started to get some levels, because that early stuff was like, there was just nothing to kill. And the repeatable enemy at what turned out to be 3 was only worth 70. And I'm like, I'm not grinding this guy for 70. I'm just not doing it. So yeah, levels were kind of a rough pull there for a hot minute.
Yeah, that red IK for 70 was a bit of a pain, but the thing that got you off the ground in initsu was that 200 point P-bag drop off of the small enemy pool relatively early on, because you found Bagu's Woods while you were over by Saria, as well as 3.
Right. And I farmed there a little bit.
So
yeah,
that gave you a pretty good springboard to bounce off of and really get your seed going.
Yeah. Then when I was gonna find Bagu, I couldn't find him.
Oh yeah, I realized it was in the woods, and I'm like, if I run into him, great. If not, whatever. And then I luckily through Maze Island just found a back door to the area. I'm like, oh, okay, well that wasn't so bad.
Oddly enough, I think you got an encounter on Bagu's tile itself, so that's why
really?
you didn't find him the first time through initsu.
Of course, that's awesome.
Little unfortunate, but what you gonna do? The rando's gonna do that.
Yeah, I wasn't hard locking anything, thankfully, so that's good. But yeah, like it was just one of those things, like because that first little trip into the east, I immediately got locked into an encounter I couldn't get out of, and if you just go a little south, there's Fairy. And at first I felt that's kind of bad, but I remember the magic levels. I'm like, no, I would have never been able to use it anyway. Yeah, I didn't feel super behind while I was running this one. I actually felt pretty comfortable for the most part. And then once I finally got the key, and it was like, finally, then I really felt like, okay, now we can start ripping through this. And then I had gotten a hint for the boots in the east, so I'm like, it's got to be in the east, and the boots have to lock the glove. I have everything in all the dungeons except 4. If it's in 4, then rip. But yeah, I really felt like once I started clearing the dungeons in the west and started to pick up levels and get the items and rip through the stuff and make some progress, I'm like, okay, we're to that comfortable stage where we've just got to map through our palaces now.
Yeah, and as I like to say, when Glove shows up in Death Mountain, that's when Death Mountain strikes back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got a little bit lucky that I had pretty cleared it. Go ahead.
I felt behind until I found the glove, I think. And then I thought, oh, maybe he didn't go to Death Mountain, and that was my advantage.
Yeah, it seemed like you were playing like you felt behind there until you found the glove in initsu. And I can't really blame you for that, especially when the glove came at the time that it did, just because you never know exactly how somebody's going to route any one of these seeds.
Yeah, and I almost got Fire Thunder early, but I lost my patience in Maze Island, and I thought, like, maybe fire isn't important, so I went for the east instead.
That reverse check, though, was a very good one.
Yeah, GP would have been quite difficult without it.
Oh, for sure. Elendar, I don't have any other questions, so if you got stuff, go for it, my friend.
Nope, I'm all good. Unless we get something else, just good luck to both runners in the brackets, and I'm sure we'll see at least a couple more games for both of you, and possible, I guess, just because of how the bracket lines up, I don't think it's likely that you end up facing each other again.
I do have one more question. If we're doing the, hey, it's Upstarts, let's be a nice thing.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think on 3 separate occasions I ran into the same dead end in different palaces. And it's that one where it's the 2 tiles, and then you have, like, the 2 rows of blocks right above you.
Yeah, the one that's, like,
yes.
in Vanilla 1.
Is the one going from right to left always a dead end? Or is it possible to continue out the other side?
If you're talking about the one that, like, when you go into Vanilla 1, like, the rim right on the left there that normally has a key.
There's normally a key on that ledge. I've never played the vanilla game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one.
I'm a scrub.
That one's always a dead end. If it's
okay. I was like, I found 3 versions of it, and some of the rooms that I swear will be dead ends aren't.
Hit up initsu to give you the link, or I can find it somewhere. Initsu made a absolutely wonderful tool that he just recently updated that has sortable and filterable lists with pictures of every room in the game, including the new ones.
Oh. Hey, bud. Be a
Which
pal.
thank you for doing that. Yeah, huge thank you for doing that, Initsu.
Yeah, no, it was my pleasure. It was kind of needed to finish the new version, I think.
Yeah, since we have a lot of dead ends being added in the new version.
It has helped me a ton.
Yeah, it's one of those things as I've progressed in learning, I've got like, okay, I kind of feel like I have this, okay, and it's like that step. Now it's to that point, like, I have to learn how to route these palaces better, because, it was very obvious in this one, I sunk a lot of time into, like, full clearing these palaces for near nothing.
And sometimes that's really just how the rando treats you.
Oh, sure.
The palaces in this case, yeah, there were quite a few winding ones. GP was, of course, GP. It always does its own thing. But in the case of 6, there were quite a few loops in there. 5 had some really, really weird paths in it. And then I think those are really the only 2 that stood out to me for this seed.
Yeah. But, overall, I feel perfectly fine with how I got there. I obviously would have liked to have won, but I was in GP before they finished. I feel like I did pretty well in combat. I was getting through what I wanted to get through. I'm okay with where I'm at.
Yeah, you both played an amazing race, and though, I did want to bring up one more thing. Initsu, I need you to calm down against Guma, please, because that was beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like I've practiced that boss a lot, especially when there was a new boss room for it. That has been removed now, but yeah, I like to play that room a lot, so that was good practice.
That's fair. So, Initsu, you're going to be up against Custom as the number 5 seed. And then, Elendar, who's Taelin up against?
Sorry, I had the bracket up. It is Sigil.
All right. So both of you have some fairly tough races coming up. Initsu, we'll start with you. Any thoughts going into your races against Custom?
I mean, I'll play my game. I'll try to be better at remembering the overworld. That seems to be my biggest problem. Like I should note like where I find every palace and every town.
That's always fair.
Yeah, because it's not the first time that I've lost like a town or palace. Usually I have like some memory, like it's somewhere in the west, like north-ish, but I think I should get more exact, like say, I don't know exactly what kind of systems, but I'll think of something.
I mean, in this case, I would have said northeast corner by Saria. And then, Taelin, you're going up against Sigil. Any thoughts going into that?
Nope. I'm a Z3 player mainly. Tiverius brought me over to this. I did Upstarts last year, and then this year it's like at 10th at the last race. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'm about where I was last year. And then hit the PB on the last race and got in. So I'm like, well, here I am. So, no, I'm just going to do my best, and whatever happens, happens.
That's all we can ask.
Yeah, I'm honestly, compared to last year, I'm like, I'm a little bit better, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, nope, I'm just here to have fun.
There you go. Elendar, you got anything to say before we throw it over to VT?
Nope, I'm all good. GG's on this one, and look forward to seeing you in your next races.
Yeah, thanks so much for doing the race team, especially with kind of short notice. So, really appreciate the commentary. Really looking forward to watching this one back. So, thank you both so much.
Absolutely. And VT, with that, take it away, my friend.
And definitely want to say thank you to Taelin and Initsu for this race. Luckily, we'll see them again during the tournament. Hopefully, we'll have as many of the races from the Upstarts tournament as we can get on here. Also want to thank Elendar and Sonirath for commentating. I'm going to send you over to Kane DeShane, who's doing a Zelda 2 100% all keys run. So definitely have fun watching that. And other than that, thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.